Howdy mates, how are we doing? Here's the second video log for today while visiting the Stillwater Prairie Reserve along the river trail, that is along the Stillwater River, which makes total sense. And we are actually rather close to the suspension bridge. However though, I'm probably going to save that for a short little snippet. I'm not going to make a whole video out of it. But the real focus of the video is a particular perennial that I have not had a chance to make a video on. So let's go down here and take a look. Alright, so you may be wondering, what exactly am I looking at? Well, for those of you who don't know, this is the Tradescantia virginiana, also known as the Virginia Spiderwort. And so you figure there are several, at least up to 70 separate species of spiderwort that falls under the genus of Tradescantia. But the Virginia spiderwort is one species that seems to be the most prevalent, especially in the eastern parts of the United States and Canada. So you may be wondering, like, why is it really called spiderwort? Well, they call it spiderwort because if you look at the petals real carefully, they say that it kind of resembles a spider that is in a squatting position. So that's really how its name began. But they're usually distinguished by having 3 separate petals along them. But then if you look at the stamens themselves, they have like a yellow color. And your other question might be on the top of your head, okay, since they have the color of a blue violet, they must be related to violets. Well, they're actually not. They don't have any relation to all the other violets that you find, like especially among spring wildflowers. We're actually at a point now where several types of spring ephemeral wildflowers are gone. Because you look around us, we're starting to get a more dense canopy, more leaf cover of sunlight. So majority of the wildflowers have paid their dues, so to speak. So yeah, the Virginia spiderwort. And actually, as it turns out, this plant is perfectly edible. You actually can use any part of the plant, whether it be the actual flower itself, the stem, or even the roots, and the leaves too. The leaves are especially popular among, like in powder form, in any of your teas, whether it be green tea, for instance, you can use it. And then like the actual flower part, you can use in your salads if you want. It's perfectly edible. It causes no harm whatsoever. And a lot of these flowers are actually cultivated in gardens because honestly, since they're not invasive, they don't really cause any harm. And last but not least, some people really consider this to be a weed sometimes. But your question might be, what is a weed? Well, it's not what you think it is. It's not the 420. Sorry, I just had to throw that. Okay, get it together. No, a weed is really something that it's really a plant that just no one really likes. And usually it typically has a biased opinion. And really, you could technically consider any plant a weed. But the thing is, a lot of it just has to do with personal preference. I mean, me personally, I don't really consider a lot of flowers or any of our second-story plants to be weeds. I mean, I'd probably say the closest thing to a weed that I would consider, like something that I wouldn't desire to have, would probably be, like poison ivy or Virginia creeper. I mean, those are just a couple of examples. But, and stinging nettle too. Yeah, that's another one I forgot to mention. I mean, those are plants we don't really desire in general, but then there could be people who do like them. And that's really the point I'm trying to make. No plant is really a weed. It's just a matter of our opinion, really. But it looks like here, too, I just want to point it out. You see these stalks right here? It looks like this could be baneberry, I think. I'm gonna take a picture of it just to clarify and be sure, but I have a feeling that this is baneberry, you know, just based on the cluster. So, that's all I have, mates. So I thought I would share something about the Virginia Spiderwort with you guys. May post an article or two if you want to read further about them, but they're perfectly safe. They're native, and they're also a threatened plant too. So it's actually good to plant them. So the more you have, the more the merrier is a good way of saying it. But yeah, they're especially threatened in some of the provinces in Canada. So, alright mates, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and once again, Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks.